Next, in order to create the rear bumper, I'm gonna go ahead and select those vertices that create up the little bumper. Go into top view, hit E and Y to extrude them on the Y-axis and align them properly. Select them, drag them down till about there. Next, select those three and extrude them on the X-axis just a little bit. Extrude them out and then drag them down. Should be something like that. Right here, I want to select this one, this vertex, and this one, and hit M at last. That's gonna merge the vertices at the last one that was selected. Now we're left with a little triangle right here, so I select all those three vertices and hit F to create a triangle. From here, you select those three and extrude them to this corner right there. Select this one and drag it in the corner. Select them and do just that. Then from here we can extrude them all the way to this rear diffuser and drag them in a little bit to create that little shape. What I want to do is select those vertices, for example, those vertices at the corner, 4 vertices, hit E, Z to extrude them on the Z axis to create that curvature right there, and extrude them down on the Z axis again. And right here, just kind of make it more curved, something like that. Just play with it. This one needs to go in the corner right there, so it needs to go like that. Then you just select those 4 vertices, hit F to create a face. Select those 4 vertices and hit F to create another face. And I'm gonna keep playing with this, just place it a bit more in there, something like that, to be more straight. Just like that. Then selecting those 2 vertices and extrude them down, something like that, to start creating the rear diffuser. Like that. Then we can continue with these 2. You kind of have to eyeball it, really, and then create this face right there. As you can see, is not really perfect, so again, eyeball it, keep playing with it, try to create it as curved as you can, as nice as you can. That looks pretty decent. Now, as you can see, it has a little dent right there, so we need to have an edge loop right there, and I think I'm gonna use this edge loop, or these edges from right here. So just drag them down a little bit, then select those 3 vertices, extrude them to this corner of the little thing. Make sure you align them properly, like that. We need an edge loop right here to create another vertice, so I hide this face and create an edge loop right there, so we have a vertice at the corner of this little thing. So I select those 4 vertices, hit F to create a face. Next, select the last 3 vertices and extrude them all the way and place them accordingly. Select those 4 vertices, hit F to create a face, and then in here I'm gonna just create a triangle like that. And now that we created this edge right here for this dent, we need to select it, select those 2 vertices and just bring them in, something like that. That's gonna create a little dent. and make it more aggressive looking. Good, now that's the rear bumper. Again, we need to check for artifacts. You select the object, enable subdivision modifier, right click shade smooth, and it looks absolutely perfect. So we go back, shade flat, disable the subdivision modifier, and that's the rear bumper. So now I want to create the rear diffuser. What I want to do, select these vertices and move them a little bit more to the left, and select these vertices and move them a little bit more up, like that. Next, you want to extrude them on the z-axis, just like that, to drag them down a little bit, all the way to this line. Select this vertex and place it in the corner, and this one, oh, not that one, this one, and place it something like that, and just make this face the same size as these faces. You don't want it like that, something like that. Then you select the vertices and drag them out a little bit. Maybe that's a bit too much, so drag it in a little bit. And then select this one, this bottom one, and just play with it a little bit. Something like that. This, drag it a little bit lower. There you go. Now we can create this flat part right there by selecting these vertices, extruding them down again till that little line, dragging this vertex in the corner and dragging this vertex right there. Again, play with the size a little bit. And that's pretty flat. I kind of need to move this a little bit, something like that. There you go. Now selecting these vertices with alt click, extrude them on the y-axis a little bit in, like that, and drag them down a little bit and more to the right. And this vertex, just edge slide it to the top like that. There you go. And now this is pretty simple. We just need to fill the diffuser in, and we do that by selecting these three vertices and extruding them down like that. And go like that. And then these other, and then the rest of the vertices, just select them and hit F. And as you can see, that's the diffuser filled in. We need to create the exhaust cutout now. So I need an edge loop right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide these faces so it's easier for us to work with. Create an edge loop right here and an edge loop right here, like that. Select this vertex, G 2 times to slide it like that, and place it in the corner of this little thing. And then we need another edge loop to go right there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hide this face and create an edge loop at the top of this thing. And now we simply need to go into face select mode, select those two faces that make up the cutout, and hit X, delete faces. So that's the diffuser done. Next, I want to go ahead and create the doors. Taking a look at the real life car, as you can see, this little black plastic piece also goes along the doors. And in the blueprint, we don't have the line right there. We kind of have this that we can take a reference point and just create it ourselves. But anyways, what I want to do is move this vertex a little bit higher and add an edge loop right here, because whenever we extrude this is gonna be this little black piece right there. So there you go. Now you go ahead and select these vertices. You hit C on your keyboard and then click and drag these vertices. Make sure you don't select any other ones like I did. Deselect that one. So only these that make up the door, and hit Y to extrude them on the y-axis. Now just go ahead and create the rear door by aligning these properly, like that, and kind of like lower this a little bit and lower this a little bit. Should look something like that. You alt click these vertices, go into top view and make sure it aligns just like that. Perfect. Now we can create the front door. We do the same thing, alt click these vertices, hit Y to extrude it on the y-axis and just align them properly. These vertices should go right there because that's the ridge that we were talking about in the other episodes. These two vertices are gonna make up the black piece, so I want to select this one and move it up to make it the same length. And actually what I'm gonna do is select all of those that make up the little thing and go like that on the z-axis. Make this a little bit more straight, but actually it needs to be a little higher from over here because it needs to follow this one. So just tweak them a little bit, something like that. That actually looks pretty decent. Then select those vertices, go into top view, make sure everything is aligned. This one isn't, so go like that. Perfect. Now we have the doors done.